Kat. I live in Melbourne. I work for so that's Youth Empowerment for young people to talk about HIV and sexual health to their community. The funnest thing about my job really is that I get to talk about sex all day. I get to talk about sexual health with young people that are really passionate about HIV and sexual health and the health of their community. Like encouraging them to get out of the community and have the courage and support them through talking about HIV, STIs in a way that's best for them to help their peers and their community. My experience in social media really started off in my own journey in social media, signing up as cat_B. But I'm also mostly authoring for _AU, so that's Yeah's Twitter account. So my personal journey is very organic, learning how to use Twitter and hashtags and following people and responding. No one ever taught me how to, but as Gen Y, no one tells me how to do anything. Bringing that kind of personal approach to and how to engage with us, but also share our message around promoting what opportunities exist, where we're going to be, at what music festival, or if there's any Agents of Yeah training coming up. I think that's the easiest and best way for us to do some of our promotions. 3 sins of health promotion is not wanting to own any risk and being fearful of any risk that's associated with social media. It's got such a bad rap that you just need to jump in there and have a dedicated person to hold that account and not moderate but support young people and users to make better and more worthwhile contributions to social media. If you're coming from a youth-centred perspective, then getting young people to author stuff for you. If you're not a young person and you're trying to speak all really cool, it's not going to work. It's not going to be, authentic and true to what you're trying to say. I think, for us, talking about HIV is such a sensitive issue, and there's a lot of risk around communicating HIV/AIDS, sexual health, and especially to young people. There's a lot of risks that can be associated with messages being misconstrued and not quite communicated properly. But, the general rule of thumb is if you wouldn't say it face to face to another person, you wouldn't put it on the internet. So if there are some responses coming back to you that aren't, entirely, true, or the myths or the misconceptions around your work, you really need just to correct or support young people to find better information and get over that first hurdle of fear-based us and them approach. That's not the point of social media. If organisations have the capacity to have a dedicated person within their staff to look after their social media account, that would be ideal. But if not, finding a really key volunteer or a young person that's really into this world and wants to take the lead in this is just as valid and just as important to support them to make your promotions really good. A really good example is Headspace. Their social media and their Twitter account is amazing. Most of my health promotion and social media use comes from Melbourne, where internet use and social media use is quite high. But from a territory perspective, I think it's finding the mediums where young people hang out the most, whether it's when I was up there, it was Bebo or MySpace or Facebook. Picking where most of your young people hang out, rather than trying to say that I'm only going to exist on Twitter and you have to join me. Asking young people where they like to hang out, in what spaces they like to hang out, how they want to be talked to and with, and being physically present on the ground is always the #1 communication for any young person. No one likes talking to a screen. If they could have the option to coming into a really youth-friendly service and hanging out with your crew.